News Hour, India's voice to the world with me, Deepika, coming up in the next 1 hour. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi embarks on his visit to France. Prime Minister to co-chair AI Action Summit and review the 2047 Horizon Roadmap's progress. After France, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit USA on Donald Trump's invitation. Technology, trade, defense among key focus areas. Prime Minister Narendra Modi engages with students, teachers and parents during Pariksha Pe Charcha's 8th edition in New Delhi. Asia's biggest air show, Aero India, begins in southern city of Bengaluru. Defence Minister terms it as a platform to showcase India's defence might. Trump announces 25% steel and aluminium tariffs in latest trade escalation. France says European Union will replicate any tariffs imposed by the US, Australia's Prime Minister to urge for exemption. And Trump wants the US to own Gaza, calls it a big real estate site. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu praises the proposal. Arab nations decry the move. A very good afternoon to all our viewers joining us at this afternoon broadcast on DD India News Hour. To begin with the top news of the hour, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is visiting France and USA beginning today and visiting France on a 3-day visit at the invitation of President Emmanuel Macron. In his departure statement, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said in Paris, he is looking forward to co-chair the AI Action Summit, which is a gathering of the world leaders and global tech CEOs, where views will be exchanged on collaborative approach to AI technology for innovation and larger public goods in an inclusive, secure and trustworthy manner. The bilateral segment of his visit will provide an opportunity to review the progress on 2047 Horizon Roadmap for India-France strategic partnership along with his friend President Macron. He will also travel to the historic French city of Marseille to inaugurate the first Indian consulate in France, and further also visit the International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor Project, in which India is a member of the consortium of partner countries, including France, to harness energy for the global good. The Prime Minister will also pay tribute to the Indian soldiers who laid down their lives during World Wars I and II at the Mazargias War Cemetery. From France, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will proceed on a 2-day visit to the United States at the invitation of President Donald Trump. He is looking forward to meeting his friend, President Trump. Although this will be their first meeting following Trump's historic electoral victory and inauguration in January, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has a very warm recollection of working together in his first term in building a comprehensive global strategic partnership between India and the United States. The visit will be an opportunity to build upon the successes of collaboration in Trump's first term and develop an agenda to further elevate and deepen partnership, including in the areas of technology, trade, defense, energy, and supply chain resilience. The two leaders will work together for the mutual benefit of the people of the two countries and shape a better future for the world. Well, the future of AI or artificial intelligence stands at crossroads. With global governance, ethics and innovation on the agenda, will the summit be able to unite AI efforts? DD India's Taposh Bhattacharya reports from Paris. Take a look.
The future of artificial intelligence is at a crossroad. On February 10th, 2025, world leaders, tech giants and experts will gather in Paris for the AI Action Summit, a pivotal moment for AI's global trajectory. Now, what to expect in this particular summit? Unlike the previous summits in Bletchley Park and Seoul, where safety took center stage, France is shifting the focus from risk to action. The agenda? 5 key pillars. First, public interest AI, expanding AI benefits beyond tech giants. 2, future of work, how AI, that is artificial intelligence, reshapes jobs and industries. 3, innovation and culture, boosting AI creativity and inclusivity. 4, trust in AI, ensuring safety, ethics and transparency. 5, global AI governance, striking a balance between regulation and innovation. But this isn't just about policies. France is playing a strategic game. Hosting this summit positions France as a key AI player, balancing US partnership, open cooperation with other countries like China and India, and strengthening European AI independence. And with Mistral AI, the France rising AI champion, valued at over $6 billion, Paris wants to show the world it's not just following the AI race, it's shaping it. Yet the challenges loom. The EU AI Act just enforced just before this summit could tighten AI regulations, potentially restricting innovation. Meanwhile, the new US administration stance on AI and China's growing influence could also reshape AI geopolitics. The world will be watching. Will the AI Action Summit spark a new era of global AI cooperation, or will competing agendas widen the divide? One thing is certain, AI is no longer just a tool, it's a battleground in a new international polity. With camera person Rakesh, this is Taposh Bhattacharya for GD India from Paris.
Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to France will also focus on strengthening India-France ties, especially in the defence sector. This visit also boosts joint technology development and Indo-Pacific security cooperation, marking a new milestone in the India-France strategic partnership. DD India correspondent Taposh Bhattacharya has got more details. Take a look.
India and France, two nations, one powerful partnership. As Prime Minister Narendra Modi gears up for his visit to France on February 10th and 11th, the world watches closely. This visit isn't just about diplomacy, it's about strengthening India's military might and deepening strategic ties with key global ally. At the heart of this visit, major defense deals. India has proposed the purchase of 26 Rafale M fighter jets and 3 more Scorpion-class submarines, which will significantly boost India's naval and air power at a time when security challenges in the Indo-Pacific are on the rise. But this partnership isn't just about buying military equipment, it's about co-developing technologies. India and France are working together on advanced jet and helicopter engines. The collaboration between Hindustan Aeronautics Limited and France Safran to develop military helicopter engines is there. This aligns with India's vision for self-reliance in defense manufacturing under Make in India initiative. From next-generation fighter jets to missile defense system and intelligence sharing, this long-term vision is shaping the future of global security cooperation. As Prime Minister Modi's visit unfolds, all eyes will be on the agreements that will define India-France relations for years to come. With stronger defense ties, joint technological advancements, and a shared focus on Indo-Pacific security, this partnership is set to soar further. With camera person Rakesh, this is Taposh Bhattacharya for GD India from Paris.
Now, President Emmanuel Macron said on Sunday that France will announce investments amounting to $112.5 billion in artificial intelligence over the coming years during the Paris AI Summit openings starting today. Now, the financing includes plans by Canadian investment from Brookfield to invest 20 billion euros in AI projects in France and financing from the United Arab Emirates that could hit 50 billion euros in the years ahead. The Elysee Palace said the UAE in investment would include financing for a 1 gigawatt data center. Last month, US President Donald Trump announced that OpenAI, SoftBank Group and Oracle would invest $500 billion in AI infrastructure over the next 4 years to help the United States stay ahead of China and other rivals in the global AI race. Now, Macron said there is a huge regulatory challenge for artificial intelligence, but it must be done on a global scale. Macron and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau reinforced a global partnership in AI, which they forged in 2019, joining the conclusion of a meeting at the French Foreign Ministry that included leaders from Slovakia, Serbia and the OECD. After wrapping up his France visit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will pay an official working visit to the United States on the 12th and 13th of February at the invitation of President Donald Trump. This will be the first visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to the United States since the inauguration of the second presidential term of Donald Trump. The visit will be a valuable opportunity to engage the new administration on all areas of mutual interest. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will hold a bilateral meeting with President Donald Trump in both the restricted and delegation level formats. Now, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacted with the students on different aspects of stress-free exams in the 8th edition of Pariksha Pe Charcha. This year's Pariksha Pe Charcha has been revamped with a fresh and immersive format featuring 7 key themes ranging from mental health, mindfulness to technology, sports and financial literacy. The other episodes of the event brings renowned personalities to guide students on essential aspects of life and learning. Prime Minister Narendra Modi personally addressed students' concerns about exams pressure, time management and career choices, while also encouraging them to think beyond textbooks and develop a broader perspective on life and learning.
समाज जीवन में दुर्भाग्य से ऐसा घुस गया है कि अगर हमने स्कूल में इतना नंबर नहीं लाया, 10th में इतना नहीं आया, 12th में इतना नहीं आया, तो जैसे जिंदगी तबाह हो जाएगी।
Yes, sir.
और इसलिए पूरे घर में तनाव हो जाए। तो रात माँ बाप को तो समझा नहीं सकते। अब तो एग्जाम के 2 महीने बचे होंगे, अब उनको कहो माँ अभी भाषण मत दो, ऐसा तो नहीं कर सकते। आपने अपने आप को तैयार करना। इसका मतलब आप पर प्रेशर है। बैट्समैन उस प्रेशर की परवाह नहीं करता।
Yes, sir.
उसका पूरा ध्यान उस बॉल पे होता है। अगर आप भी इस प्रेशर को मन में न लेते हुए अपना ध्यान, आज मैंने इतना पढ़ना तय किया, ये अगर कर लेते हैं तो आप आराम से उस प्रेशर में से भी अपने आप को दिखा सकते।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi also encouraged the students to keep challenging their limits. Prime Minister emphasized on the importance of always pushing beyond what feels comfortable and challenging ourselves to reach new heights.
को कसना चाहिए।
Yes, sir.
हर बार अपने आप को चुनौती देते रहना चाहिए।
Yes, sir.
अगर पिछली बार 30 मार्क्स आए थे, इस बार 35 लाना है। चुनौतियां तो अपने आप को करनी चाहिए। बहुत से लोग खुद से खुद की लड़ाई नहीं लड़ते। क्या कभी आपने खुद से खुद की लड़ाई लड़ना तय किया है? खुद से लड़ना है तो पहले खुद से खुद को मिलना पड़ता है। कभी अपने आप को पूछा है कि मैं जीवन में क्या बन सकता हूँ, क्या कर सकता हूँ और मैं क्या करूँ तो मुझे संतोष मिलेगा? कई बार अपने आप को पूछना चाहिए।
Now, the Prime Minister also requested the parents and teachers to not bind children within 4 walls and allow them to go out and explore the world. Prime Minister also urged the parents to not see their child as a model.
आप दीवारों में बंद करके एक प्रकार से किताबों में का ही जेल खाना बना दें तो बच्चे कभी भी ग्रो नहीं कर सकते। उनको खुला आसमान चाहिए, उनकी पसंद की कुछ चीजें चाहिए। अगर वो अपनी पसंद की चीजें अच्छे से करता है तो पढ़ाई भी अच्छे से कर लेगा। परीक्षा ही सब कुछ है जिंदगी में, इस प्रकार के भाव से नहीं जीना चाहिए। अगर आप इतना मन में बना लेंगे तो मुझे पक्का विश्वास है कि आपके परिवार को भी आप कन्विंस कर सकते हैं, अपने टीचर्स को भी कन्विंस कर सकते हैं।
We are heading for a short break, but still to come on DD India News Hour. Australia to urge Washington to give them exemptions over steel tariffs. On the other hand, South Korea holds emergency meeting with steel makers. Up next, we'll also get you how the markets are reacting to this latest tariff announcement. And Donald Trump signs executive order that recognizes 9th of February as Gulf of America Day. The one who recently made India proud at the 67th edition of Grammy Awards, Ms. Chandrika Krishnamurthy Tandon.
Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Whenever I feel depleted in any way, I remember I am abundance, I am fullness, I am perfection.
Tell us about your experience meeting Prime Minister Modi in 2023.
He was very passionate about trying to figure out how to further education and global partnerships with India.
How can music mean one remain calm and mentally fit?
Music is love. Music ignites the light in all of us.
Welcome back after that short break. You're watching DD India News Hour. Now, the 15th edition of the biennial Aero India was inaugurated by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh at the Air Force Station in Yelahanka in Bengaluru today. In line with Atmanirbhar Bharat and Make in India, Make for the World's vision, Asia's biggest air show provides a stage to forge international collaborations to fast-track the indigenization process, thereby providing a thrust to Prime Minister Narendra Modi-led government's resolve of making India a developed nation by 2047. Organized in a total area of over 42,000 square meters, the event witnesses participation of over 900 exhibitors, including 150 foreign companies. The presence of air chiefs and secretaries from 43 countries further highlights the significance of this event, not just for India, but for the entire international defense community as well. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh emphasized that Aero India serves as a significant platform for showcasing the nation's growing defence capabilities and technological advancements. This biennial event not only highlights India's achievements in defence technology, but also solidifies its commitment to the safety and security of the country.
Important objective of Aero India is to showcase not only our industrial capability, but also our technological advancement to the entire world. This shows our commitment towards the security of our nation to further strengthen our symbiotic relations with friendly foreign countries. Today, the platform of Aero India has brought together government representatives, industry leaders, Air Force officers, scientists, defense sector experts, startup, academia, and various other stakeholders from all over the world.
And to discuss more on this, I am joined by DD India correspondent Vishal Beristo from Bengaluru. Good afternoon, Vishal. Tell us about the major highlights of this grand event, which is dubbed as India's show of strength, resilience and self-reliance. We would try connecting again with Vishal, but there you saw the visuals and how confident Rajnath Singh, the Defence Minister, is about this Asia's largest defence expo, and how is it inviting the eyeballs from the globe. There you're seeing the visuals of Asia's biggest air show, which is the Aero India 2025. Vishal, are you there with us now? Vishal, tell us about the major highlights of this grand event, which is dubbed as India's show of strength, resilience and self-reliance. Vishal.
Well, absolutely, Deepika. First of all, very good afternoon to you. And Bengaluru is all set to host the largest show of the continent, which is the Aero India show, and we've seen how tremendous response India and this show has received. Around 100 countries are participating in this 5-day event, and this is for the first time that fifth generation 2 aircraft from 2 different countries, the F-35 from the United States and also the Sukhoi 57 from Russia are participating for the first time. So this is quite an achievement for this Aero India show, and India is also working very hard to roll out its first 5th generation aircraft by the end of 2027. Now this aircraft has given, this air show, I beg your pardon, has given a lot of attention to the MSMEs and also to the startups so that they also participate and be a strong partner with the self-reliance of India's defense sector.
And also when we talk about so many investors are coming and the initial days are also designated for business-to-business meetings. Tell us more about that and how is it going to strengthen the investment as well when we talk about India's defense sector?
Well, let me tell you, Deepika, that a lot of one-on-ones are there with different countries. Fiji is one, Papua New Guinea is one. There are a lot of African countries are there. So there would be a lot of discussions going on between the CEOs. And let me tell you that defense ministers of 30 countries and senior officials, military officials from more than 30 countries are also participating in the event. India is showcasing its strength in the India Pavilion, which is for the first time India has shown 30 products, including the prototype of 5th generation aircraft, which I just told you, to the UAVs, the Indian Navy and the Indian Air Force also putting up their best foot forward, and these are all made in India.
All right.
And the attention is on make in India, make for the world, because India wants to be a developed nation by 2047, and in its effort it also wants to be self-reliant as far as the defense sector is concerned. Now this platform also provides an opportunity for India and other countries to come together. Now, that would help India to fast track its self-reliance in the defense sector.
Thank
so
you.
there you say, sorry for the distraction, because many people are walking past, and you know that there's a lot of attention as far as public and military officials are concerned.
Indeed, we can understand
There's a
that.
lot
Thank
of
you so much,
crowd
Vishal.
going on.
Thank you for joining us and bringing us the latest from Ground Zero at Asia's largest Aero festival and exhibition, which is currently happening in Bengaluru. Moving on, the United States is set to impose 25% tariffs on steel and aluminium imports starting Monday. Now, this move is expected to have significant implications for global trade. We have a detailed report. Take a look.
Any steel coming into the United States is going to have a 25% tariff.
US President Donald Trump's tariff juggernaut just keeps on rolling. Now in the line of fire are the steel and aluminium imports. Sweeping tariffs would apply to any steel and aluminium coming into the US on top of the existing metal duties.
Nobody can have a majority stake for US Steel. They can for other companies, but not for US Steel. I think you agree with that, right? US Steel was one of our great companies, and through a lot of stupidity and bad government and also bad management of the company, it lost that luster. But it's going to gain it back, and tariffs are going to help. Tariffs are going to make it very successful again.
Trump also said he will announce reciprocal tariffs to all countries and matching the tariff rates levied by each country. The announcement will be made on Tuesday or Wednesday and will apply almost immediately.
I'll be announcing probably Tuesday or Wednesday at a news conference reciprocal tariffs, and very simply, it's if they charge us, we charge them almost immediately. But I'll be announcing the details of it, highly detailed, and it'll be great for everybody, including the other countries. But if they are charging us 130% and we're charging them nothing, it's not going to stay that way.
Canada is the largest source of steel and aluminium imports to the United States. Brazil, Mexico and South Korea are also major steel providers to the country. He paused 25% taxes against Canada and Mexico for a month after both countries promised to step up measures to counter the flow of drug, fentanyl and crossing of undocumented migrants into the United States. Meanwhile, China's retaliatory tariffs on US goods come into effect this morning. The 15% tariff will be placed on US coal and LNG, while 10% will be imposed on crude oil, farm equipment and luxury cars, including sedan, shipped to China.
I don't think the impact is very significant at the moment. For example, if US impose tariff, we can respond by slightly reducing our profit margins or adjusting costs. In the end, the additional cost will be passed on to end consumers in the country, meaning they will ultimately bear the consequences of their own economic policies.
This escalation follows the US implementing a 10% tariff on all Chinese products earlier this month, signaling the start of what President Trump described as a renewed trade offensive against China. With the tariffs now in place, markets are bracing for a long-term impact on global trade. Shares of steelmakers in Asia mostly fell on Monday, save for those with operations in the United States. The dollar rose and the US Treasury yields ticked higher. With Aarti Rana, Anil Thomas, DD India.
Responding to Trump's announcement, the European Union said that they will counter and replicate any tariffs imposed on it by the United States. The French Foreign Minister said on Monday that they will not hesitate in defending their interests. Asked what measures of retaliation would be agreed, Barrett replied that it was up to the European Commission to decide what sectors would be targeted. Now, South Korea held an emergency meeting with steel makers in Seoul to discuss measures to minimize the impact of potential US tariffs. Seoul said they are trying to learn the details of the potential tariffs and would work closely with steel makers to actively respond to the potential tariffs. Korean steel makers supply steel to the factories of car makers like Hyundai, Kia, as well as television and home appliance companies in Mexico and the United States. Meanwhile, Australian government has decided to urge Washington to give them exemptions over steel tariffs. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said that he has raised the issue with US President Donald Trump's administration over tariffs.
These have significant investments in US steel industry, creating thousands of jobs in both the US and in Australia. We will continue to make the case for Australia's national interest with the US administration, and what's more, we regard this as also being in the US's national interest as well. Because tariffs, of course, don't tax us, they tax the purchasers of our products.
And now markets are on an edge and volatile with the escalating trade war, with more possible turbulence as shares of steel makers in Asia mostly fell on Monday. South Korea's Kospi main index fell 0.1%, led by losses in steel makers. However, shares in Australian listed BlueScope Steel rose nearly 2% on expectations its US business would gain from the tariffs. Meanwhile, analysts assume currencies from those countries targeted by Donald Trump will tend to fall against the dollar to help compensate in part for the taxes. We are heading for a short break, but still to come on DD India News Hour. Ecuador set for runoff vote as Noboa likely to fall short of securing an outright majority. Up next, we'll get you all the latest from Mahakumbh 2025.
Timeless, boundless and infinite, the essence of faith, the soul of Sanatan culture, from the sacred confluence of Prayag, where divinity descends to earth. Witness the grandeur, the devotion, the magic, world's largest cultural and spiritual gathering, with over 450 million devotees expected to attend. Mahakumbh, India's greatest festival of faith. Exclusively on DD India.
Welcome back after that short break. You're watching DD India News Hour. Let's now quickly recap the top headlines of the hour. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi embarks on his visit to France. Prime Minister to co-chair AI Action Summit and review the 2047 Horizon Roadmap's progress. After France, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit USA on Donald Trump's invitation. Technology, trade, defense among key focus areas. Prime Minister Narendra Modi engages with students, teachers and parents during Pariksha Pe Charcha's 8th edition in New Delhi. Asia's biggest air show, Aero India, begins in southern city of Bengaluru. Defence Minister terms it as a platform to showcase India's defence might. Trump announces 25% steel and aluminium tariffs in latest trade escalation. France says European Union will replicate any tariffs imposed by the US. Australia's Prime Minister to urge for exemption. And Trump wants the US to own Gaza, calls it a big real estate site. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu praised the proposal. Arab nations decried the move. Now, US President Donald Trump reiterated his intention to buy and own Gaza, calling it a demolition site in need of total transformation. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu praised the proposal as revolutionary, but this bold proposal has ignited a firestorm of criticism and raised questions about the future of West Asia. Here's a report by DD India's Harshita Oberoi. Take a look.
A sweeping and controversial vision. US President Donald Trump on Sunday reiterated his commitment to buying and owning Gaza, proposing to redevelop the territory with the help from other West Asian states. His remarks, made aboard Air Force One en route to the Super Bowl, have sent shockwaves through the international community. Trump emphasized his intent to take full control of Gaza, ensuring Hamas does not return, calling the land a demolition site.
I'm committed to buying and owning Gaza. As far as us rebuilding it, we may give it to other states in the Middle East to build sections of it. Other people may do it through our auspices. But we're committed to owning it, taking it, and making sure that Hamas doesn't move back. There's nothing to move back into. The place is a demolition site. It'll be, the remainder will be demolished. Everything's demolished. I mean, you can't live in those buildings right now. They're very unsafe. But we'll make it into a very good site for future development by somebody. We'll let other countries develop parts of it. It'll be beautiful. People can come from all over the world and live there. But we're going to take care of the Palestinians.
While promising to care for Palestinians, he suggested that other nations could rebuild different sections of the territory. He also hinted at allowing some Palestinian refugees into the US on a case-by-case basis. His comments were swiftly met with both support and outrage. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu praised the proposal as revolutionary, aligning with Israel's long-standing objective of eliminating Hamas's presence. But Netanyahu remained vague on the plan's details.
President Trump also presented a completely different vision for the post-war period. For an entire year, we were told that the day after must include the Palestine Liberation Organization and the Palestinian Authority. President Trump came with a completely different, much better vision for Israel, a revolutionary, creative approach that we are currently discussing. He is very determined to implement it, and I believe it opens up many possibilities for us.
The backlash was immediate. Arab nations, including Egypt, Jordan, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia, rejected the proposal outright. Saudi Arabia's government dismissed the idea, while Jordan's King Abdullah is set to confront Trump during their upcoming February 11th meeting in Washington, warning that the plan could destabilize the region. Meanwhile, Israeli President Isaac Herzog revealed that Trump is also expected to meet with key Arab leaders, including Egypt's President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, though no official dates have been confirmed. But with widespread rejection, his plan faces an uphill battle. Harshita Oberoy's report, DD India.
Now, US President Donald Trump signed an executive order that recognizes 9th February as Gulf of America Day. Trump signed the proclamation while flying over the newly named Gulf of America. The changes will apply to official federal documents and maps. Trump ordered the name changes as part of a flurry of executive actions hours after taking the office, making good on a campaign promise. Google Maps last month said that it will change the name of Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America once it is officially updated in the US geographic name system. The change will be visible in the United States, but it will remain Gulf of Mexico in Mexico. Outside of the two countries, users will see both the names. US and South Korean military are conducting live-fire exercise today after North Korean leader Kim Jong-un criticized military cooperation among the United States, Japan and South Korea for raising tensions in the region. The two countries' military drill showcased combined air power and readiness to demonstrate their commitment to maintaining a strong defensive posture. On the 8th of February, Kim said US deployments of nuclear strategic assets, war exercises and military cooperation with Japan and South Korea were inviting the military imbalance in the region and raising a grave challenge to the security environment. Some 28,500 US troops are stationed in South Korea as part of an effort to deter nuclear-armed North Korea. The Baltic states, Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia disconnected from the Russian power grid on Saturday. They have now joined the European power grid in a bid for more energy security and independence. Joining us with more is CW correspondent Chiponda Chimpelu in Berlin. Good afternoon, Chiponda. How significant is this move?
Thanks for having me. Well, the move is largely symbolic, but it has geopolitical significance. Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia have not bought Russian and Belarusian electricity since May 2022. But they were integrated in Russia's power network system because the three EU states were part of the Soviet Union for more than 5 decades, and they became independent in 1991. But while the Baltic countries have been part of the EU and NATO since 2004 and also used the euro, they remained part of the Russian power grid, and that gave Russia some ability to control their power supplies. Now, disconnecting from the former Soviet Union, also Russia's integrated power network, and being part of continental Europe's synchronized grid was a strategic goal. Now, one that was even more apparent after Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. The Latvian energy minister told DW that this is about defense, energy security, independence, and the economy. The three Baltic countries are distancing themselves from Russia and their Soviet past by joining the EU electricity grid.
All right, thank you so much, Ipona, for joining us from Berlin and bringing us the latest on this development. Moving on, Ecuador's presidential race will go to April the 13th runoff as the incumbent president, Daniel Noboa, clutched onto a razor-thin lead against leftist Luisia Gonzalez by less than 1% in Sunday's election. Early exit polls predicted Noboa would get a little over 50% of the vote, just enough to avoid a second-round runoff against leftist challenger who was on 44%. According to Ecuador's constitution, a candidate needs more than 50% of the vote to win the first round outright, or 40% with a margin of at least 10 percentage points over the next closest candidate. If these conditions are not met, the two candidates with the most votes will face each other in the second round. Kosovo's ruling party is on track to come first in Sunday's parliamentary election, but it fell short of an outright majority needed to rule without coalition partners. Preliminary results show the election result to be a drop from the more than 50% that Prime Minister Albin Kurti's party won in 2021. But it puts him in a position to lead the next government in a country whose politics is dominated by the relationship with the neighboring Serbia and Serbs within its borders. Now, Monday will likely see the beginning of coalition talks, although it is not clear which party or parties the party will team up with. During an acrimonious election campaign in which fines for misconduct tripled over the 2021 poll, Kurti said he would refuse to rule with a coalition. Now, federal election is to be held in Germany on the 23rd of February this year to elect the 630 members of the 21st Bundestag. Originally scheduled for 28th of September, the elections were brought forward due to the collapse of the governing coalition during the 2024 German government crisis. Now, it is the fourth snap election in the history after those in 1972, 1983 and 2005. In their first TV debate ahead of the February 23 election, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz criticized Friedrich Merz for accepting votes from the far-right Alternative for Germany. Scholz said this was a break of his world and a violation of a long-standing political taboo. As the main candidates for the chancellorship embody starkly contrasting visions for Germany's future, making this election a pivotal moment for the German electorate. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has taken an at-home HIV test at 10 Downing Street ahead of HIV Testing Week, which starts today. Starmer has become the first British Prime Minister and serving G7 leader to take a public HIV test in an effort to destigmatize testing for the virus. Joined by Terence Higgins, Trust patron Beverly Knight, Starmer took a rapid home test to raise awareness. The campaign that sees up to 20,000 funded kits being available to the public, one way to meet the government's ambition to end new HIV cases in England by 2030, committed by the Prime Minister in December. And now let's take a look at other stories making news around the world in brief. Birds watching is booming in China, boosting eco-tourism as nature lovers flock to see rare birds. In Jiangxi Province's Yunnan County, visitors are amazed by 230 bird species like white cranes and oriental storks. Yandianzhou village in Shandong Province charms tourists with snow-dancing white swans. Efforts to protect these birds include patrols and a swan protection station. Seagulls are the highlight of the Qingdao, attracting large crowds. On Sunday, February the 9th, thousands of people in Madrid protested against rising housing and rental prices, calling it a housing emergency. Demonstrators demanded dignified housing and urgent solutions from the authorities. The large-scale demonstration highlights the growing frustration over housing affordability in the Spanish capital as housing prices in Spain hit a historic high, which is 12.5% above the 2007 record. In the Amazonas state, Brazil, 4,900 yellow-spotted river turtles called Prasar were released onto the local river. Led by the Federal University of Amazonas, the project has returned over 70,000 turtles to the wild in 10 years. The yellow-spotted river turtle is native to many river basins in northern South America, including the Amazon and Orinoco rivers. The release of these baby turtles paves way for environmental preservation in riverside communities. Japan's Takayuki Koyama clinched gold in men's slalom at the Asian Winter Games in Harbin on Sunday. He outperformed South Korea's Jang Dong-kyu, who took silver, and compatriot Neo Kamada, who won bronze medal. South Korean skaters had a good day, winning the women's team sprint relay. Kazakhstan and China excelled in relays, while China dominated speed skating and freestyle skiing events. The Games showcased impressive performances from athletes across Asia. Residents of the Iranian capital, Tehran, finally got their first snowfall of the year on Sunday, enjoying Parvaz Park's snowy blanket. However, many are worried about the lack of snow and rains leading to drought later. The Iran front page news reported that Iran's northern province experienced heavy snowfall. Further, the Iranian Meteorological Organization has warned of an incoming temperature drop. We are heading for a short break, but still to come on DD India News Hour. Up next, we'll get you all the latest action from the ongoing 38th National Games. Philadelphia Eagles beat Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 2025. And we'll get you beautiful visuals from Paris's biggest and most beautiful Chinese New Year parade.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Prepare your heart for a roller coaster ride called Madhya Pradesh.
Welcome back after that short break. You're watching DD India News Hour. Now, India's Minister of Commerce and Industry, Piyush Goyal, today launched the India-EFTA dedicated desk. The desk will act as a centralized support mechanism for EFTA companies looking to expand in India. It will cut across all ministries in the central government and draw resources from the state governments to catalyze the $100 billion investments.
This India-EFTA desk, not just a facilitation center, but a bridge between the aspirations of the 5 countries involved, 4 from EFTA and India, will help unlock the full potential of our partnership in different areas. So this is going to be the first of its kind desk, which will then translate into an office being opened in the EFTA region also, to have seamless engagement with businesses in the 4 countries, and will help this big dream, big aspiration between EFTA countries and India become big on delivery and actual implementation on the ground.
Now, much-awaited India Energy Week is set to kick off this Tuesday at the Yashobhoomi in the national capital. Building on the success of 2 editions inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the 3rd India Energy Week is poised to solidify its position as a premier platform for global energy industry. 4-day event promises unparalleled global participation from ministers, CEOs and industry leaders. It also aims at addressing the sector's most pressing challenges and drive actionable solutions for a sustainable energy future. As one of the world's fastest growing economies and a pivotal player in the global energy transition, India offers a dynamic model for balancing economic growth and sustainability. Now, the India-Japan Skill Connect has undoubtedly created a valuable platform for talent exchange, and it is a significant step towards strengthening the bond between the two nations and also fostering a future of shared prosperity.
Embassy in Tokyo recently hosted the India-Japan Skill Connect, an event designed to link talented Indian students with leading Japanese companies. The event saw enthusiastic participation from Indian students eager to explore career prospects in Japan's dynamic economy. Over 10 Japanese companies spanning diverse sectors were present, offering a unique platform for students to connect with potential employers.
Indian professionals have always been valued for their talent by the Japanese companies, and now the Indian Embassy in Tokyo is playing a very crucial role in helping build the bridges between the Indian students and the Japanese companies. With over more than 170 students who participated in this event today, in person and online, with over 10 companies, made the energy feel palpable.
The event kicked off with a welcome address by the Indian Students Association, followed by Shri R. Madhusudan, Deputy Chief of Mission at the Indian Embassy. Mr. Tomohiro Takashima, Executive Vice President of JETRO, also delivered a special address highlighting the growing interest of Japanese companies in recruiting Indian talent.
We know that Indian people have a reputation of being dedicated workers who have gone on to build and head great companies around the world. I am happy to know that the Japanese government, both in Tokyo and in the prefectures, and Japanese companies are keen to engage with us and keen to tap into this vast pool of skilled human resources that India offers. And here I would also like to share with all of you that the governments of India and Japan are currently engaged in a discussion on ways and means to expand the exchange of personnel, especially the number of skilled Indian professionals in Japan over the next 5 years.
The core of the event was a series of concise and engaging presentations by the participating Japanese companies. Each company showcased their work, their culture, and the opportunities they offer to international students.
Software solutions for our customers globally. But what we are focusing on now, one thing is digital cabin. This is something that we are working on for automotive industry.
The highlight of the evening was undoubtedly the networking sessions. Students had the chance to interact directly with company representatives, ask questions, and explore potential career paths.
I'm still looking for internships and jobs in my field, and I'm currently studying computer science and quantum computing, and it's kind of hard for me to look for companies specifically for quantum computing. And to my surprise, I found one here, which is really cool. So I really like this event, and thank you so much for organizing it.
Companies which are here in Japan and what they are looking for, like basically for Indian students or Indian workers, like what their skills they require and their expansion towards India, mainly those things. And looking from the presentation, I got idea they were trying to expand towards India to get more workforce from India, more young people.
The India-Japan Skill Connect has undoubtedly created a valuable platform for talent exchange. It's a significant step towards strengthening the bond between the two nations and fostering a future of shared prosperity.
And now let's get you all the latest update from the ongoing Mahakumbh 2025. India's President Draupadi Murmu took a holy dip at Triveni Sangam during her visit to the ongoing Mahakumbh in Prayagraj on Monday. Later, she offered prayers and arti at the sacred confluence, experiencing the spiritual fervour of the festival. As part of her visit, President Draupadi Murmu also visited the revered Akshay Vat and Bade Hanuman temple. Uttar Pradesh's Governor Anandiben Patel and Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath were also present on the occasion. Her visit is historic and inspiring, not just for Prayagraj, but for devotees across the country, as it will enhance the religious, cultural and spiritual significance of Mahakumbh. You're watching DD India News Hour, and now it's time to get you all the latest from the world of sports, to begin with national games. The 38th National Games is currently underway in India's Uttarakhand. Services continue to dominate national games, leading the medal tally with 42 gold, 16 silver and 15 bronze medals, taking their total number to 73. Karnataka follows in second place with 31 golds, while Maharashtra with 29 holds the third spot but leads in the overall medal tally with a staggering 120. Uttarakhand in particular has impressed with 15 gold medals so far, making the most of its home advantage. The competition is set to intensify with key events in judo, netball, gymnastics and athletics for today. As athletes push for podium finish, the medal tally is expected to see major shifts. The Philadelphia Eagles eliminated the Kansas City Chiefs' bid to become the first NFL team to win 3 consecutive Super Bowls with a blowout of 40-22 victory in New Orleans on Monday. US President Donald Trump also arrived to watch the match, becoming the first sitting president to do so. The Chiefs had been bidding to become the first team in the history to win 3 consecutive Vince Lombardi trophies following Super Bowl victories in 2023 and 2024. But Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes never looked like leading his team to glory. Eagles effectively had the game won by halftime, powering into a 24-0 lead at the break after 3 unanswered touchdowns from Hurts, Cooper, DeJong and AJ Brown. And before we let you go, time to see some amazing visuals. Paris's biggest and most beautiful Chinese New Year parade made its return this Sunday. Spectators were out in force to attend this festive and colourful rendezvous that celebrated the New Year with joy. Now this year, the community and its associations paraded for the arrival of the Year of the Snake. The popular event filled the streets of the French capitals with traditional lions and dragons. And that's all for this edition of DD India News Hour, but do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download it right now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Deepika, and from all of us here in New Delhi, thank you so much for watching DD India News Hour. Namaskar.